Hello and welcome everyone. In this video I'm going to be showing you all on how to solo the Wintertodt. Now do keep in mind that you can do this with a friend or a bunch of friends as long as you all do the same and you all understand what you have to do. It actually makes no difference on how many people are doing it with you, but I'm just showing you that this is possible to do solo and that you can do it by yourself. Now actually starting off the mini game, you'll notice that all the pyromancies are up, all the brassiers are unlit. So the first thing you're going to want to do is light the 4 brassiers. Now the reason you want to light all 4 and not just stick to 1 or 2 is because you want the Wintertodt to go down a lot in percentage at the start of the mini game. The reason being is that the higher the percentage, the more damage you take. You take damage a lot faster and a lot more consistently the higher the percentage is. The lower it gets, the less damage you take. So that's why you want to light all 4 up at the start. Now before you get to the 4th brassier, you want to pick up 2 herbs. Then obviously light the 4th brassier, and then you want to go to the entrance. Now the reason you want to go to the entrance is so you can pick up the concoctions, which are the 2 potions in the middle crate for the herbs, and you take no damage. So I actually sit at the safe area until the Wintertodt is around the 75% mark, because that negates a lot of damage, and you'll be surprised on how much damage that actually saves you. It's like the equivalent of 5 monkfish or 1.5 brews roughly, so it's definitely worth doing. Once you hit the 75% mark, you can go and start wood cutting, and just keep an eye on the compass for when the fires go out, and just go and relight them if you need to. Okay, so I've pretty much covered that. Now the next thing is when you see the fires go out above the 50% mark, you want to go and fix them, heal the pyromancer if you need to. Generally you don't need to, but it has been known. I've had to actually heal one once at 78%, so I must have just entered the room really late, I don't know, but he died super fast. But you want to heal the pyromancers and leave the north ones alight until the 50% mark. Once you hit 50%, the brassiers, they get broken, they get put out a lot more often and a lot faster, and you honestly can't keep up with all 4 even if you wanted to. So once you hit the 50% mark, you leave the north ones alone and you just stick to the 2 south ones. Okay, so once you've at that point, you're going to be taking a lot less damage, but also remember that your damage that you will be taking will be a little higher, because with 4 brassiers lit you only take between 4 to 6 damage. With 2 brassiers hit, you only take between 8 to 10, maybe 12. I can't quite remember because it does vary a tiny bit. And for argument's sake, if you have no brassiers lit, you would take between 14 to 16. So it does make a massive difference. Now once you've obviously done the 2 brassiers at the south side and you hit the 20% mark on the Wintertodt, you want to just stick to 1. The reason being is because you'll be running backwards and forwards way too much to keep the brassiers fixed, and it won't be worth the time, and it'll get to the point where you run out of run energy. Once you've run out of run energy, that is your cue to not bother. You just stick to 1 fire. So you just stick to either the southwest one or the southeast one. The choice is yours. It really makes no difference. Now obviously you keep healing the pyromancer whenever you need to, and if you need to make more potions, you know where the files are, you know where the herb is on the side of the wall, you just make some more, because you've got to make sure the pyromancer is always alive and that fire lit. Now you want to make sure the fire is always lit until about the 10% mark. Now the 10% mark is roughly where you're taking the least amount of damage, like obviously between 0 and 10, and this is when you can control the game to how you want it to. Especially when you're doing it solo, you can make the game last indefinitely if you really want to. You can make the game last an hour, 2 hours, half an hour, or as you can see in this video, I actually did it so I can make the game go as fast as I possibly could for the sake of the video. But most of the time I generally try and go for half-hour games, because it does get a little boring after a while, and unfortunately as well, I can't seem to keep a world by myself that long, and people just generally come along and join in. When someone joins in and they don't know what they're doing, or they're not following how you're doing it, they can make the game faster. Like honestly, they can't make it slower because you're trying to make it go slow, but they make it faster, meaning that it's just kind of ruined your game, but you just have to go with it because other people can enter, which is just unfortunate. I wish that you could actually make your own instance in this boss/mini game, but you can't. Okay, so I think I've actually covered everything. So let's just go on to some of the requirements for some of you who may not know. Obviously, the Wintertodt you can access through the games necklace. It is the bottom option. You do need 50 firemaking to enter this mini game, and in terms of gear, you want warm gear. Now, what they consider as warm gear is the Clue Scroll outfit, which I honestly don't know how to get hold of because I haven't even got it myself, but it was an event that they run throughout the summer. I believe the Santa outfit works from the last Christmas event. I do not know if you need the Santa hood or if the Santa hat works. I can't verify that. But what I do know is earmuffs do work, so you could just buy earmuffs from the Slayer Master. And also yak hide works. So if you have access to any of that, definitely wear it. If you have a fire cape, put that on. But cape, honestly, it makes a little difference anyway. And yeah, and I'm just hoping that you guys get your pyromancer gear as soon as possible. And obviously, if you get the broomer torch, is it broomer or brummer? I do not know. You can wield that as well. What else is there to add? I don't think there's much more to add to the gear side of it. In terms of infant wise, you're going to be wanting brews, especially if you're just going to go for solo. Food won't quite cut it. You'll definitely need brews. I wouldn't say you'll need more than 6 if you know how to do the mini game, depending on how long you want to last as well. You can actually come in with only 2 brews, or even no brews if you stand in the safe spawn and let the Wintertodt get really low in percentage at the start. It's all down to how you actually play the game. But if you're doing it how I'm doing it in this video, you won't need more than 4 brews. But if you want the game to last a lot longer, the more brews is needed. So just take them to however long you want to last in the mini game. I would also take some food as well for the start because it's just easier. And you also want a hammer, a tinderbox, and a knife. Now, obviously, the hammer is to fix the braziers when they get broken. The tinderbox is obviously to light the braziers. And the knife is obviously to fletch the logs. That's very common sense, really. I thought I'll just put it out there just in case if people didn't know why you had the actual accessories in your infant. That's pretty much the mini game in a nutshell, though. In all fairness, like I said, you can do this with other people. You can do it with your friends, your buddies, anyone. You could do it with anyone. But if you get randoms coming along, unfortunately, a lot of the time they don't actually follow you or follow what you're doing. They just do what they want, which is extremely annoying. But you're just gonna have to go with it and either find a new world afterwards, or just pray that they leave after that game's finished or change worlds. But yeah, other than that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope it helps most of you out. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer anything. And yeah, I honestly hope that you guys will benefit from this, and good luck on your supply crates, because doing it this method you get tons of rewards in the supply crates, and I'm going to be showing you that in just a second when I finish this game. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and let's see what I get. Okay, so I actually had to stop recording and start recording again right now because we literally just finished, and it took a lot longer than I thought it would because the braziers actually break very, very often between the 1% and 3% mark. So I just constantly relighting the brazier. I actually sped up the video so you guys could see that. And someone actually entered the room right now, which is crazy because no one entered the mini game throughout the whole of the video. So yeah, anyways, let's open this crate and let's see what we get. So we got some Addy ore, some raw sharks, maple seeds, spirit seeds, runite ore, maple seed, and some coins. That is actually a really bad supply crate, which was unfortunate for us. But overall, it's not that bad. For Iron Men, most Iron Men should do this mini game for sure, because you can get loads of Renar seeds and Snapdragon seeds, and it is extremely helpful. Anyways, like I said, guys, before when I was recording, I hope this helps most of you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and take it easy.